Hi guys, welcome back to the channel this afternoon. So this afternoon I'm going to be showing us how to draft a fish skirt. So you can either use it for a skirt pattern or for a gown pattern in case you are joining it to the upper bodies for your gown. So if you're interested in learning how to draft this skirt pattern, this fish skirt pattern, so stay tuned and keep watching. And if you've not subscribed yet to the channel, please subscribe. And if you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. And please turn on your notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. So let's get started with the tutorial. So firstly, I'm going to be coming to the upper parts of this place and I'm going to be drafting out my starting line. So this is my starting line. So the next thing I'm going to be telling you is that I folded this fabric into two, this into two and this into two. So this is for the back and this is for the front. Now you notice there's a difference between the front pattern, the front fabric and the back fabric. Now the front fabric is having like 1.5 inches is 1.5 inches different from the front pattern, and the reason is because I'm going to be using this back pattern for my zipper allowance, while the front is not going to be having a zipper allowance. So that's the only difference with the folding. So this is the upper, this is for the front and this is for the back. Now every measurement I'm going to be taking for this tutorial is going to be on the front pattern, on this front fabric. So every measurement will be starting from this and not from this place. So I hope you understand that. So now let's get started with the tutorial. So the measurement I'm going to be using a waist measurement of 30 and a hip measurement of 42. So now I'm going to be placing my waist measurement here. So as you can see, I'm still placing it on the front one. So the waist measurement, that's 30 divided by 4, is going to be giving me 7.5. For 7.5, I'm going to be adding 1 inch sewing allowance, which is 8.5, and I'm going to be adding my stitching allowance, which is 2 inches. So I'm going to be having 11 inches here. So now the hip point I'm working with is 9. Now you can measure for that of your client, but the one I'm working with, and the standard is probably 9/8. But don't do 7. 7 is going to be up. It's not going to be staying exactly at the hip point. So you can do 9, you can do 8, you can do 10. Now it depends on your client. There's some client that has a lower hip, so you can measure them to get the accurate hip point. So the one I'm working with here is 9 inches. So I'm going to be taking 9 inches here, and I'm going to be marking it out here. So now the full measurement of what I'm working with is 58. The full measurement I'm working with is 58, but I'm going to be working with 60 to avoid any shortage. So I'm just going to be marking out 60 here. I'm sorry you can't see it. That's because of the way my camera is bent. So I'm just going to be taking it down later to show you guys. So this is 60. Now the next thing I'm going to be doing is, now you notice that this is my half length. My half length is 16, so I'm placing it on the half length. I'm placing 16 on my starting line here. So now I've measured 11. The next thing I'm going to be measuring is 20 inches from the waist line. I'm going to be measuring 20. Now the reason why I'm measuring 20 is because this, I want it to be very close to the nail. So if you don't want the fish you are drafting to be close to the nail, you can make it 18. But for this client, she requested that she wants the fish to start from the nail, so that is why this is on 20. But if you are making it for yourself and you want it to be more comfortable for you, it is better you start from 18. So now I'm just going to be starting from 20 because that's what the clients required. So now 20, I've marked out 20. So the next thing I'm just going to do is place my hip measurements. So I said my hip measurement was 42. So 42 divided by 4 is 10.5. 10.5 plus zipper allowance, which is 10.5 plus sewing allowance, which is 2 inches. That is 12.5. I'm going to be placing my 12.5 here. And now when I get to this place, I'm going to be going in by 1 inch. So I have 12.5 here. I'm going to be placing 11.5 here. So now I'm just going to connecting all of this into a straight line. So after doing that, I'm just going to be connecting from this point down to the edge of my fabric. So here I'm just trying to make a curve because I don't want it to be sharp. So this is it. So this is the down part of it, and this is the upper part. So I'm just going to be cutting this out. So I'm just trying to open up the zipper allowance for the back. So this is it. So this is all for the pattern drafting for a fish pattern. So that's the tip. So now at this tip, I'm just going to be coming up by 2 inches or 1 inch because I don't want that sharp edge. So I'm going to be doing that 1 inch from it. So that is the edge after I trimmed out 1 inch from it. So thank you guys for watching. If this was helpful, please give me a thumbs up and see you in my next video.